Good morning. Saturday morning back with you. I certainly missed you folks last week, and I'm sorry. But I did miss you, and hopefully yeah, most of you missed the show. But yes, back here with you. So good morning. Cup of coffee in hand, right? And October has kicked off since we've last met or last got together here in the show. So yes, my favorite month is here, October, finally. Been waiting for it. Where has October been? But it's finally kicked off. It's a bit of a warm October, but that's okay. October is still here and everything, and so it's warmer out here in these parts. Not sure out where you're at, probably a lot cooler than it is, but and then also, unfortunately, with the that really nasty weather and stuff like that, and those natural disasters that is claiming some unfortunately claiming lives and stuff and people, so we hope and pray for them and get them to safety, and sorry for the loss of those. Anyway, all right, so here we go. We're going to read your comments, and so we're going to go ahead and roll through them, and we got some stuff to talk about and everything. And so obviously in the spirit of October, we got some other things, and we got some cool revolver stuff, so stay tuned. We're going to talk a little bit about some of that. Hopefully I can remember to talk about some of the stuff I wanted to talk about here with you. All right, so first up, we've got Joe P. And actually, you know what? Before we get started here in the show, I want to know where Slim Fire is, because he's been MIA for the last couple of shows. I hope he's okay. He's never missed a show since, so we're going to give a special shout out, and everybody want to say, hey, where is Slim Fire? Yes, there's a lot of usuals that come in and tune into the show. You are a very important part of the show, so we know when you're absent. Okay, Joe P, swig of coffee for Joe and all the working stiffs out there, the 9 to 5ers, and those that have even retired now from the 9 to 5. A swig of coffee to all of us, the struggling working class. All right. Good morning, JW. Not embarrassed to admit I have spent thousands of dollars over the last 20 years on grips. Same here. I think most of us that love grips, and I am definitely one of you, we have spent quite a lot of money. I would hate to think how much money I have poured down the drain, pun intended, of making grips, trying to figure out how to make grips myself. All right. They are the best part of the gun. Yes, they are. They are certainly cool. They add a certain flavor to it, and as everybody knows, I'm really big on adding that flavor, and I'm not much big on the rubber, Packmeyer hoe grips or whatever you want to say. Nothing against those companies, just I don't like that flavor. I want some kind of character. I like the wood. I like the differences and stuff like that, especially like the vintage days, the 50s, where they were doing the phenolic resin stuff and all that. So all right, having several choices for each gun is awesome. They not only help improve accuracy, they give the gun personality. Yes, and that is something that I've done with a lot of my stuff, a lot of my personal things that I have, range stuff, whatnot, what have you. They have its own personal touch that I've added to it. I've changed or altered something slightly to make it mine. All right, it's half the fun of being a gun owner. Yes, it is, especially when it comes to old school stuff, which is that's all I'm interested in. I love the old wheel guns and 1911s, classic GI stuff, all that stuff from the years of gone past that I wish were still here. Anyway, if H.G. Wells or somebody, or I would be jumping in with Rod Taylor anytime to get in that time machine. I don't want to go back that far, but I certainly would like to go back to the good old days. All right, Lion Quest Fitness, lightweights, slow and controlled with isometric tension, as well as lots of stretching, goes a long way, keeping your back pain-free as we age. Absolutely. Extreme words of truth right there. It is what I do to get my back in health and everything. As we all know, the Crazy Scotsman is experiencing some severe back pain and issues, and he's going through a lot of the therapy and stuff like that. As we wish him well, I definitely did that myself, trying to get back in shape, and it almost felt like the total opposite of something I wanted to do. But that's what I do. Light weights, and keeping that, tension, and definitely stretching. Every morning, definitely stretch and stuff like that. As you know, when you don't bounce back like you were when you were 24, it does start to get harder. I'm noticing it even at my younger age. I'm starting to notice it that, yeah, you just don't bounce back like you did 20 something years ago or whatever. All right. Bob Anderson's book Stretching is a long-term classic and definitely a good start for preventative maintenance. Bob Anderson's book of Stretching. Some of us might need to pick something like that up and check it out. But you know what? I got to tell you, Greg, you are in wonderful shape, my friend. You are absolutely in good condition, man. You definitely you should be in the next Die Hard movie. All right. Crazy Scotsman, speaking of the man, good morning, brother. This platform can be very frustrating at times, to say the least. Yes, it can be sometimes, but we still have fun with it. However, you're 100% right. I met some of the greatest people on here, dear friends and family. Yes, we have. We've met a lot of really good people doing this platform, and that's been the ultimate reward. People like a lot of people we've lost sadly over the years. Obviously people like Mr. Holster that was just absolutely fantastic, and that's what it's about. We kind of don't really. It's not. If you notice too, I've changed the update on the channel descriptions after over the years that we've done this. Kind of did shy more away from informational stuff. Just not really. I don't want to be. I never have felt like I was a reviewer or anything like that in the past years. Although we did dabble with some of that stuff, but actually looking back regretfully, just like, you know what, we probably just, I'm glad that we kind of more or less stuck with the theme of just having fun, showcasing some cool old stuff and referring it back to the films that inspired me to have one or whatnot, and that's pretty much what it is. All right. But yeah, definitely not trying to, teach or train, I guess, in a sense. Not really been the objective. All right. Although if somebody learned something or something like that, or maybe we got to help somebody with something in the proper positive way, that's the ultimate thing. But hopefully it hasn't gone the other way. All right, I agree on the movies. They have the technology, so why not? So why not? Yes, and actually, I'm looking to order it myself. I want to get a hold of it, my hands on it. I did hear that Scream Factory's re-releasing collector's edition. Of course, it's been out for a while. Me, late to the party kind of guy. I heard that Scream Factory's re-release of the classic 80s My Bloody Valentine, I did hear that is actually been restored because the graphic sequence clips that were once in it, of course by today's standards, is complete child's play, pun intended. But I did hear that, because when they re-added those insert scenes, and at least the copy I own right now on DVD, it is grainy, it's different, you can tell it's been sourced from other material, and it's been put in there. So same with like the Christmas one, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Same with that. That is the same situation there. So I wanted to see what this is, because the new Scream Factory, which by the way they've been knocking it out of the park. In fact, I think we got one right here, a Scream Factory releasing there. I heard that they repaired it and it looks flawless now. So I'm really curious to get that because I want to get it because it did kind of to me whenever the picture got grainy and it was changing that tone. For me it just kind of killed it because I'm like, oh great, it's going to be something gooey, you know, and I don't like that. I want it to be kind of like a flow in and just be like, whoa, wow, that was pretty crazy for 1980, you know, something. So that's the way I like to look at it. Anyway, all right. Cap here says I like having different grips for handguns and change them occasionally for a different look. Yes, like you, movies tend to play influence on some of the grip choices. Yes. For me, the one thing I can definitely think about when it came to grips is the old Duke films from the mid-60s and on. I think it started, you can notice it for sure, either in the War Wagon or the Sons of Katie Elder is when he first showed up with the aged yellow, as they put it, as I read the articles, Catalan grips, which is a form of Bakelite from back in the day. Don't know how much truth there is to it, but they said that he tea-stained them himself. I really don't know how much truth there is to that. Unfortunately, the man himself can't come here and tell us that. But I would more or less bet my money on the fact that he just got them that way. So I don't think he did anything like that. All right. Jeffrey Richardson, yes, sir. Praying and a sip of coffee. Yes, and they were referring to you, Crazy Scotsman. Okay. Speaking of which, I'm trying to, making sure my back stays in good shape myself and not having any issues arise back up. But I've been doing my set therapy pretty much at least every other month and a half. I've been trying to go back and get straightened back out again. Haven't gone back to the chiropractor because I think I'm all set there, but he's always there. It's always a good thing to go and get readjusted whenever you're feeling. Big key thing is the minute you start feeling pain, definitely go get yourself checked out. Don't do what I did, which is prolong it for months and months and months because you're too stubborn to go. It finally took, Anyway, yeah. Sean Lee, good morning. Coffee in hand and ready for the show. Thank you. All right, Keith says morning. Yes, morning to you, Keith. All right, and that's it. That's all of everybody that we got through here in the comments. Sure wish we, again, you guys are what makes the show. You guys, and a lot of times too, dictate what we talk about sometimes. So, all right. So, you know what? We got some really cool movies here to talk about. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about first, before we get into this one here, I brought this back out because this is a good golden oldie that's been in my collection for a while. This is the truck, the black Amara truck from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I've had this for years. I bought it when I first heard it came out. You can still get it, and it's fairly inexpensive. I think they're right now currently. I think I double checked. I think they're like $60 or something like that on. You can get it on Amazon. I think it's really cool. It's one of the cooler box sets. It's not too over the top, and it's not too large, but it is pretty cool. And you got all this stuff on the bottom that talks about what it's got. It does extend. You pull this out, and it makes it into a larger truck. Of course, all the goodies are inside. As my friend, when I used to work for a haunted house, one of his shticks was when we were going through, because I was one of the cast members that would scare people. He said, you know what the best part of having a coffin is? You get a cool box and the goodies inside. All right. Okay, this one here, you have the 4 feature commentaries. You got from the directors and the actors and everything like that. You got collector's edition bonus discs of the actual bit. You got some extra stuff here. The Shocking Truth, Flesh Wounds, which is 7 stories of the Saw. Tour of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house with the late Gunnar Hansen, which is the guy that played Leatherface. Off the Hook with Terry McMinn. Business of the Chainsaw, interviews and stuff. New deleted scenes, outtakes, Grandpa's Tale, which is an interview with John Dugan. Cutting Chainsaw interviews and outtakes, blooper reels. more stuff. Horror's Hollow Grounds. That's Sean Clark. He has a channel out there, and he is one of my favorite guys to watch. And that's the thing too. When I do watch YouTube, it's usually about like a lot of these guys like this. Sean Clark, he's the creator of Horror's Hollow Grounds. Horror's Hollow Grounds is so the coolest thing. I can't believe so. It's really awesome because he's a fan that somewhat made it in the business too, and he's so lucky and blessed to be able to go do what he gets to do. But he goes to all the locations of the horror movies of the past years, and he gets to kind of check out where they did stuff, and he does a lot of homework. I can't imagine the amount of hours and efforts that go into what he does to get things pinpointed down, certain scenes, angles, and locations. I mean, to travel all that distance and everything just to kind of showcase something like that. So he's really good. And the other one that I wanted to talk about is Pizzal. Pizzal is really cool. I love his whole way he goes about it. He's not boring. He's not, and that's the main thing too. It's like whenever somebody's doing something like that, or anything, gosh man, I tell you, you do not, and I've said this before, you do not want to come off like Mr. Barnett's 7th grade math class. Please, people, like if you're gonna do stuff, that's why if you check out people like Pizzal or Sean Clark, man, they are just awesome. They keep you engaged. There's energy. There's just something about it. It's really cool. All right. So anyway, but this has got some really cool stuff on there. And then, of course, there's a limited edition content and everything. So we're going to go ahead and open this. The reason I brought this out was actually to talk about, there's a new edition of this thing that came out. It's like a 50th anniversary. I don't know if this one marks any kind of year, date, or anything. I don't think it does. I just think it. But anyway, there was a 50-year one that came out. And I'm not knocking this thing. I don't get me wrong. I don't really want to sit there and bash it. But what it is from what I understand, I actually found out about it from people like Pizzal. That it's a big box, comes in, you pull it out and you put together a big plastic chainsaw replica of the one from the movie and everything. And then you open it up, inside it's got the DVD and it's got the VHS reproduction of the thing, that is, if you care about that. I have a copy of the very old original VHS, the media release one, that would have been the very edition that I rented and got to see the film on back in the years gone by, when I rented it from Blockbuster. So that's kind of got a sentimental to me, because that was the exact copy I watched from back then. So anyway, that's what it comes with. It literally is this big chainsaw with the two pieces inside, and then it opens up, and then it's got an outer box that's got some artwork on it. But my gripe with the thing is it's $300. That's what I heard. It's $300. It's not something that I would be willing to spend my money on because of the lack of material in it, to be honest. Just flat out. I mean, really, you're paying for that big plastic chainsaw thing that comes with. So again, I'm not trying to knock it, but I think for me, I think I'll hold on to my money. I'm not going to purchase that. Even if it was, I think honestly, I'd rather just have the edition, the tape, and the DVD. More so the DVD, because then you could actually watch it and everything. I have a VCR, I just don't know if it works still. So, all right. Anyway, but I kind of thought about it, and I said, you know what? If you're gonna have, like, I bought this edition. It was inexpensive. Like I said, it wasn't anything crazy. So I was happy with this. And inside of this, you got a 40th anniversary limited edition of the film itself. So you got all that. So that's cool. You got that, and this is what the box is. And then you got the bloody apron. And that's it. That's what it comes with. You got the bloody apron. I think I've unwrapped it a couple of times here on the things. Maybe we'll just put it on for the remaining of the show, right? There it is, the bloody apron. I haven't worn it in a while, or actually, I don't know if I've ever wore it. But there you go. There's the apron that it comes with. So pretty cool. What does it say on the bottom here? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre Incorporated. The other thing that people were saying too, like with the big chainsaw edition thing, it was like, oh well, you can go and you know, it's a good thing to take the conventions and get signed. Well, that would be pretty cool. But the sad part about that is the majority of the people that did this film and was involved in it, the major people, I mean, there's still people left, but they have passed on. The director has passed away. The Leatherface guy, Gunnar Hansen, has passed away. Sally has passed away. What is her name? Marilyn Burns. So a lot of the people that, you know, were there, you know, the gas station guy, you know, all those people they're gone. Even if you know, go look at part 2, even a lot of those people are gone, you know. So that's kind of the thing about it. So really, you know, I mean, there's not many people left to sign the thing. So anyhow, but then anyway, I wanted to, in the spirit of, you know, Halloween, I wanted to kind of bring that out and talk about that again. The other one that we got is the collector's edition by Scream Factory Halloween 2. This is the 4K, which I have not stepped up to playing those yet, which I bought a copy of The Exorcist on 4K, and I don't have a 4K player to play it, and I didn't realize that you need that, you know, so there we go, you know, I'm Mr. Analog here. But anyway, luckily this comes with a Blu-ray, but comes with a cool slipcover, you know, of course, the new style artwork, you know, I'm not, you know, I'm not like against them, but one of the things is inside of it they did include the original reversible slipcover artwork, which is cool. They didn't add the strip on the cross on the side that says stereo that the old VHS tape had, but that is the original looking cover. So, and of course you get the black jewel case for signifying the 4K. But wow, the disc fell out. 4K disc, Blu-ray theatrical cut, and look at this, the DVD television cut. I actually didn't realize there was a television cut of that. I did watch it. It's kind of, you know, it's basically a neutered down version of the film. Although there's some extra scenes in it that you never ever got to see. So that's, you know, it's worth watching just for that. So anyway, another reason why we brought this out is because in this, and it's another reason too, like I kind of wanted this, but Dr. Loomis, Sam Loomis, has this. Check this out. You guys have not seen this. Colt Trooper 357 Mark III, it's called. This is really cool. This is in really good shape, by the way. So really awesome. It's got the original wood grips. Look at those really cool wood grips on there. And they are the original Colt grips on this thing, and it's got a really neat hammer. Look at that hammer. Pretty cool. Smooth face on the trigger, so that's awesome. Really big lead in on the locks on there, but it's got a really thick, heavy duty barrel and everything. 357 Magnum. The 4-inch model, because it's the cool 70s cop, you know, revolver in a sense, because that's what really ultimately what they all were, and so it's got that cool factor for it, that 70s. I believe this one's vintage 1977. I think we looked it up. But we figured we'd bring that out because you haven't seen that. Really cool. And then also, we wanted to talk about the grips, and this was kind of referring to this. You know, I've heard somebody tell me they were knocking the grips from Thailand. I don't knock those. Those are really fantastic grips. I love them. I love the fact that they're offering those. You can find them on eBay. You can find them on Amazon. They're around. They have creeped up in price. They have been, you know, jumping in price over the years since when I first saw them. But then again, they're not hundreds of dollars like the originals would cost you. And the other thing too, referring to this, when I actually saw these grips and got to go back through and check them out, it made me kind of realize what Deer Hollow was talking about, Olaf over there, and the craftsmanship of these original grips. And to tell you the truth, looking at this, and you can see what he's talking about, and you can actually see in the corner here where the checkering just kind of ran off and just kind of, you know, just fluffed out, and just kind of just, it just, you know, just and then they just gave up, and then, you know, or well, it ended, you know, where it ended, you know. And some people were telling me, oh yeah, you can see that on the Thailand grips and whatnot. Well, here's the original, you know, so-called what. But here's the other funny thing is, I think actually Colt was outsourcing these type of grips even back then to these other Asian places too, that I've heard, like, you know, that it could have been India or whatnot, you know, other places, you know, not necessarily the Asian places, but, you know, other countries that they were doing it. So it's kind of interesting. That's why I brought out this, the beautiful 629, you know, -1. I have outfitted on this a pair of Thailand, whatever they call this, what was this called, the that, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of it. But it's got the finger grooves. It's got the, you know, it's a round butt configuration. What I like most about this is the back is closed. So it actually, and I have really small hands. I love the more, you got more grip surface on this. There's more to grab onto, and I love it. I've never had an issue with like the Beretta 92. Everybody always said, well, that's a big grip on that. I actually love it. It's a fantastic grip, and I love the grip on this thing. This thing is just great. It's got that, you know, more surface area, and I love the fact that it's enclosed in the back like that. So it's one of my favorites. It's got checkering and everything, and it's even got the Smith & Wesson medallions, so that's even cooler. So, but anyway, you can see even on this, you can actually see where the checkering kind of, you know, where it ends and all that kind of jazz. So it's just kind of interesting, you know, you look at both in that aspect, it's like, yeah, you know, it's kind of the same thing, the same deal you got going on there. So there's not much to complain about in that aspect. So anyway, but yeah, I just figured I wanted to bring that out. But yeah, Dr. Loomis, in the end of Halloween 2, he hands Jamie Lee Curtis this revolver. Now he's carrying a model 15. I believe he took this one off of the Constable, but you can see him. He says, come on, take it. And she's like, no. So he goes like this, and he just sets it right next to her. And that's the profile you see right there in the film. Right there. That's it. So you can tell that it's a Colt. And actually, it's just got some orange paint on the front sight, you know, because you got to see the front sight. I had somebody one time, they made a comment, I still get a laugh out of this. Somebody commented on the 2024 Python that we were doing. Oh yeah, if you could just get rid of that orange front sight because that's not vintage or whatever. And it's like, no, I actually want to see the sights. And if you really think about it, looking all the way back, Smiths have always put, you know, front sight, red front sights. In fact, my vintage model 29-2 has that red insert from the 70s. So anyway, I always think that's hilarious. So thank you for tuning in, hanging out with us this Saturday and everything. So hopefully you made it to the end of this. Yes, October is here, so we'll be doing some more cool stuff. Anyway, thanks for being here.